Ladies and gentlemen, this is for question number 5. Okay, you can see that I have somewhat altered our question, and there's a reason for that. This particular skill is going to give you 2 points. Now, because I wrote the test, I purposefully picked points where one of the points is always going to be 0, comma, and a number. So if it has 0, comma, and a number, this number is actually your y-intercept or your b. Let me say that again. I have specifically found for the test 0, comma, and the number, and that is your b. So it should be a little bit simpler to solve these questions, at least for the test. Now, I will show you how to do it for test corrections in just a second, but I want to make sure you understood how to do it for the test. So if I have the B, I need to find the M, and I have 2 points, so guess what I'm going to do? Yep, slip and slide, ladies and gents. So the 4 comes down, the -1 comes down, the 0 comes down, the -6 comes down. Put our parentheses across the top. This becomes -5 over -6, and a negative divided by a negative is a positive, so this is 5 over 6. So the equation of this line is y equals, what is my m? My m is 5 over 6 x plus 4. And that's how easy this was on the test. Now, unfortunately, for this skill, they didn't intentionally make it 0, comma b. So you're going to have to do another step. So again, the first step is going to be to slip and slide. Find the slope of the line by slipping and sliding. So this is 3 over 2. That is the slope. So how do you find the b if you're given this slope? Well, it's pretty simple. It requires you plugging into the equation. So we're going to plug into y equals mx plus b. And you know that if I have a point, I can plug in for my y, I can plug in for my x, and now that I have my slope, I can plug in for my m. That means I can solve for the b. So I'm going to use this point. This is my x, this is my y. It's always x, comma, y. So my y value is -4 equals, what is my m? 3 over 2 times, what is my x? -8 plus b. I'm going to do 3 halves times -8. You can use Desmos. It would be -12. So -4 equals -12 plus b. And then to get the b by itself, I just need to move this. How do I move anything to the other side of the equation? By doing the opposite operation. So 8 is equal to b. So now I simply fill in this information. y equals, we're not going to plug any points in, we're just going to plug in our slope and y-intercept. M is 3/2 x plus 8. Let's try this again. Slip and slide. So that's a -4/3. I'm going to use this point. It doesn't matter which one you use. Plug it into y equals mx plus b. Right now we're trying to find the b. So my y value is 3. My m is -4/3. My x is also 3. And I don't know my b. When I multiply -4/3 times 3, it gives me -4. So 3 equals -4 plus b. And to get the b by itself, I do the opposite operation, which is to plus 4. So b equals 3 plus 4 is 7. So my m is -4/3, my b is 7. My equation is y equals -4/3 x plus 7. One more example. That one's going to have a 0 slope, so I want to get a new problem. That's going to have an undefined slope. Undefined slope. There we go. So we stack them. -5, 1, -6, -2. This becomes 6/4, which reduces to 3/2. I'm going to plug it into this one. So plug it into y equals mx plus b. The y is 1. The m is 3/2. The x is -2. When I multiply these two, it gets -3. So 1 equals -3 plus b. And the opposite of a -3 is a +3. So b equals 4. So the last step is to write the equation. Y equals 3/2 x plus 4. Now, what happens if I get a question where it has a slope of 0 or an undefined slope? So this one is going to be a slope of 0. How do I know? Because my y variables are the same. When there is a slope of 0, the equation is always going to be y equals, and then your y value. So this would be y equals -6. When you have an undefined slope, the equation is always going to be x equals and your x value. And so your x values are going to be the same. So whatever, let's say they were both 3, it would be x equals 3. So if you solve for the slope and you get the equation to be, the slope is 0, the equation is simply y equals, and then you substitute in your y value. If you get the slope to be undefined, the equation is x equals, and you plug in your x value. That's all you need to do for these questions.